Lucy here from Made by Lucy, and I'm coming on for another little sewing conversations over coffee, or green tea in my case. I did a little video the other morning which I posted on my YouTube channel, and it was lots of fun actually, so thank you to everyone's comments. We were talking about time and making time for sewing and how to make time for sewing when you're busy, you know, maybe you're a mum running a household, working full time, so how do you make time to take time out for yourself basically. So that was our little debate as such, conversation over coffee the other morning. So I thought I'd come back on this morning and have another little chat with you all and get some more opinions and just sort of spark up some conversations and get us thinking about what we like to sew, what type of sewer we are, how we make the time, and all these different sort of subjects. So this morning, in my last video, if you haven't watched that by the way, head across and watch it. I'll pop the link up here for you. But in my last little video conversation, we spoke about also what types of sewers there are, because I was saying that I am not a lazy sewer, but I'm a impatient sewer. I like to see the end result of what I'm making quite quickly, and that's why I tend to sew smaller creative projects that I can put my unique stamp onto also, because I love this sort of arty side that you can bring into sewing as well. But I do find I'm a bit of an impatient sewer, so even when I'm dressmaking, I always want to get to the end result or the next step like you do, which obviously is not always great and doesn't always help you know, the end result potentially, so sometimes I'm a bit too speedy. But anyhow, so today I wanted to find out what type of sewers we've got out there, what you think you are. Now there's no specific terms for this at all, it's just for fun really, and I've kind of drawn up a little list of potential ones I think there could be, or you could be labelled under, or label yourself under. So if you think of any more, share them in the comments below, because I'd love to hear them. So here's a few that I've thought of that potentially could head ourselves under as a sewer. So I've got impatient sewer, because yes, I'm an impatient sewer myself. So I'm labeling that as one. The first one, impatient sewer. Precise sewer. So if you're the opposite to the potentially impatient sewer, you're really precise and you like to do things as, you know, exactly to the T. Make sure it's all cut beautifully, and I wish I was one of those, by the way. Don't like to cut any corners, take your time. And it's funny actually, just going to a little story, I did a little sew a skirt day back in the spring this year with Carrie from So Pretty Kitty, and it just made me giggle because Carrie, bless you, if you don't agree with this, obviously put it on the video if you're watching, but Carrie is much more precise sewer than I am, and it sort of came up in the day where I was talking to some ladies and she was talking to some ladies, and for me when I'm sewing, you know, I want to see everyone's creativity coming out. I want everyone to have a great time, and I just want them to sew basically. I just want people to sew. I don't mind how they do it. I don't mind if they make mistakes or whatever. And then Carrie, I was watching Carrie and she was talking to a lady and I came over, and she's much more precise than me. I just sort of look at her and think, oh, I wish I could be a sewer like that, because I'm totally not. So Carrie, I would say, definitely comes under the more precise sewer. Let me know, Carrie, if you agree, if that's right or wrong, if you watch this. And yeah, so I just thought that was really funny. Bless her. She was saying one thing to this lady and I come over like a bull in a china shop and say, oh yeah, that looks great. And I could see her like, ah! But anyhow, that's just a little story. So yeah, so precise sewer, you might be. A hobbyist sewer as well, or a dabbler, I thought would be quite a good word for it as well. So you just like trying loads of different things. And again, we're probably all a little bit of that as well. We probably all like to have a go at doing different bits and pieces. So yeah, a hobbyist, I thought. So there's nothing really that you're particularly really serious about. You don't feel you have to do it all the time. You just want to dip in and out and have a go and enjoy it. So I thought that would be quite a good one as well. The modern sewer I thought was a good one as well. Modern sewer. So you're really sort of picking up on trends, trying new things, having a go at different ways to sew, and maybe sort of creating some new ways and techniques to sew, which I also love as well. I love to try out different things. I love to see people you know, showing new techniques and things and ways that you can do stuff. And because I'm an impatient sewer, sewer. I always like a little loophole that you can get round, or maybe something you could do in a slightly quicker or easier way to get it finished quicker. So yeah, modern sewer. And then on the flip side of that, the old school sewer I thought was quite a good one too. So you like to do all the, the old techniques, all the ways that it was first taught. Maybe you're an older person, and when you learnt it in school years ago, you like to follow those same rules and techniques and skills. And you like to make sure all your sewing techniques are done, by the book almost. So you don't like to come off of that track. You don't like to try new things potentially when you're sewing. You like to stick to those old school routines and techniques. So the old school sewer I thought was quite cool. Creative sewer. I definitely think I'm also a creative sewer. So impatient and creative. I think maybe the two are linked quite well, because if you're creative, quite often your mind can be wandering onto 1,000 different things as you think of a new idea. So creative sewer, you like to put a different spin on your sewing. So you like to add things, you like to decorate it maybe. These are all just things that I've come up with myself. So I literally have sort of thought, what type of sewers are out there, and come up with this random list of things that I thought potentially we could be headed under. So if you've got ideas, please put them in the comments. And then, I can never say this word, so correct me, procrastinator. Is that right? Sewer. So the sewer that has all the ideas and wants to do it all, but then never really gets anything achieved, or really never starts a project, or starts 1,000 projects at once, or wants to but then doesn't find the time, or is always thinking about it basically. So always thinking about sewing. Maybe you buy all the stuff, the equipment and all the fabrics, but then never actually make anything from that, or use what you've bought to achieve, your overall desired goal, whatever you want to sew. So procrastinator, is that right? I can never say that word. But anyway, that sewer. So let me know in the comments what you think you might be. So we've got on my list, and this is obviously not an extensive list, you can add to it, and this is just me making up a list. Impatient sewer, precise sewer, hobbyist or dabbler sewer, modern sewer, old school sewer, creative sewer, and procrastinator sewer. Yeah, so let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what you think you potentially fall under. And the other thing on the back of that, while I was doing a bit of research, and there's nothing really to say what type of sewer you are or sewist you are, but what also came up, I saw a little article that was talking about what we call ourselves, and sewer or sewist were two of the words that came up. And I quite often say sewer. And a lot of people don't like using that word because it's it's spelt like sewer almost, or reminds you of a sewer, but it's not, it's a sewer. So it was really interesting little read, and it actually said, this is quoted from this little article, sewer, so sew, E-R, is a meaning that one sews. And it was first used in the 14th century. So that's when it first came out. So actually, sewer is one of the oldest, or not one of the oldest, but it's a really traditional old way of saying that you like to sew, that you enjoy sewing. And sewist, which is a bit more of a modern word, that first came out and was used in the 1964. So it's a much more trendy word. It's not actually in, well, actually I haven't checked that. This article said it wasn't in the dictionary, but I need to check that. It may have been added by now. And it's basically a mix of to sew and artist, making sewist, which also I really like, because I feel that I'm quite creative. So I would say that I'm a bit of an artist, plus I like to sew. So sewist. So again, let me know, what do you think you are? What do you like to use? Do you like sewer or not? And have you heard of sewist? Do you use sewist? What would you call yourself out of those two? So that was quite an interesting read as well. But yeah, there's so many different ways, things that you might call yourself, you might see yourself as a sewer. And it's just a real interesting little topic, and I wanted to come on here and discuss that today with you guys. So I hope you've enjoyed that, really short and sharp. Let me know in the comments if you've got any other ideas, or what type of sewer you think you are. I would love to find out. And until next time, enjoy your coffee or green tea, and I'll see you soon. Bye.